Namaste and welcome to all of you. I'm going to present a few quotations on change. This is part of a series of videos that we have called Great Minds, Great Quotes. So change. Nisargadatta Maharaj says, identity is merely a pattern of events in time and space. Change the pattern and you have changed the man. You may be aware that anything exists in time, which exists in time and space, has a pattern. The trees have a pattern, the shape, color. People have a pattern. Each one of us has a different pattern of behavior, different pattern of lifestyle, attitude, actions, reactions, etc. Birds at a given time and space fly in a certain way, certain part of the sky. So everything that exists has a pattern in time and space. Now, what is being said here about change is that when you change the pattern, take the individual for example. I act in a certain way as anyone else. In this situation, at this time, at this place. When I go to another time, another place, tomorrow, given the situation, everything changes. But if I change my pattern, in other words, I'm not victim of a pattern or used to a pattern, that regardless of time and space, this is the way I behave. People identify me with these characteristics. If I change it, change the pattern, it gradually or rather quickly changes me. If I change my behavior, it will change my attitude, my actions, my mind, my ideas, my goals. So, once again, identity is merely a pattern of events in time and space. Change the pattern and you have changed the man. This one is by great poet Maya Angelou. If you don't like something, change it. If you cannot change it, change your attitude. Don't complain. A lot of people struggle, are in agony to change something and they cannot. And through that frustration, stress, they spend their life. So there are two options. One is, if you cannot change it, accept it, adopt it, and live accordingly. But another option is that develop enough courage, strength, knowledge, wisdom to be able to change the situation. So one option is to improve yourself so that you can influence. The other is, if you cannot improve yourself, you cannot influence anything, any event, anyone, then adapt to it. So either adapt or elevate. William James says, the greatest revolution in our generation is the discovery that human beings, by changing the inner attitude of their minds, can change the outer aspect of their lives. Now this is collection of words of wisdom, but it is also proven through scientific experiments in physics in particular and in psychology, that the outer world is actually a reflection of your inner being. In bad mood, you see everybody not in a negative sense. If you are happy, the birds and the trees and the flowers, everything looks a happy expression of nature. So, the inner perception, if your knowledge is wider, bigger, then you understand more of what is outside. If you have a limited understanding, then you will think the world is small and very limited. So, there is a direct connection between the inner and the outer. So, the quotation is, the greatest revolution in our generation is the discovery that human beings, by changing the inner attitude of their minds, can change the outer aspect of their lives. Henry David Thoreau says, things do not change, we change. This is another way of looking at it, that things do not change. I guess he means the nature of things. Nature of things do not change, we change. The day and night doesn't change, we change our behavior according to day and night. Seasonality. Other events, we travel to another place, totally different climate, food, culture, we adapt and adjust. So, things do not change, nature of things do not change, we change under different circumstances, we adjust and adopt according to the natural phenomenon. If not, then we are in constant struggle with nature. This is a very poignant quotation from Joachim Ernst Berendt. Whatever has undergone complete change began as a change in the consciousness of individual human beings. Only thereafter was it possible for the world to change. This is a deep lesson and suggestion here, that to change a situation, to change society, civilization, human conditions, if the individual consciousness, the level of awareness is deeper and broader and subtler, with that change, starting with an individual, moving to smaller group and further to larger groups, if there is a change in consciousness, it is possible to change the world. Without that, if we try to change the world with a different understanding of or prior understanding of the world, it's not possible to change the world, because we have to bring new knowledge, new understanding, new approach, new behavior. That comes when your consciousness shifts, preferably and hopefully to a higher level. Then change in the world is possible. Change in any society is possible. This one, short one by Dhananjaya Kumar. It's very simple. Life represents nature's capacity to produce autonomous change. In other words, life force is autonomous. It's self-animating. You don't need to do anything to animate it. You can slightly adjust it, stretch it, contract it, but you cannot bring any fundamental change in the life force. Same as the theory of pranayama. Many of us think that our breath is called prana. Breath is the chariot, carrier of prana, which is much more subtle. So, life represents nature's capacity to produce autonomous change. Now, in our life, we have seen from childhood we grow and grow. We can crawl and walk and think and work. Most of this is autonomous. We don't make our body grow. We don't bring in life or bring life out. We bring it through the breath. Life is its own process. We don't affect the movement of Earth around the sun. These are natural phenomena. These are energy plus intelligence producing autonomous change. So that is a sort of a definition of life. Life represents nature's capacity to produce autonomous change. Thank you for listening, and we'll come back to you soon.